Welcome to the mom room. I am taking, oh my God, I knew if I ate the Tim Hortons holiday cookie, which if you don't live in an area that has Tim Hortons and you don't have access to these holiday smile cookies, I feel for you. They are so good. Whatever flavor profiles they have in these cookies, and who knows, like it could just be sugar, but honestly, sometimes you have cupcakes or a cookie and it's not the best, you know? You know how they say sugar can be addicting and does something to your brain? That is these cookies. They are so good. But I knew if I ate one right before I would record, I would keep having to clear my throat. I'm salivating because my body is like, ooh, what did you just eat? Anyways, it's like a whole thing. So I might be swallowing saliva more than usual or clearing my throat. And that's just how today is going to go. Welcome. I'm trying a new thing. If you guys follow me on Instagram, on my personal account, you know I've been struggling with workflow and being organized both in the home, but also in work. And I always say since I started doing stuff like this in 2020, I've always said I just fly by the seat of my pants, and that's so accurate. And I really am trying to learn, like from the ground up, learn different methods and ways of working that can just make me feel more organized and like I am not scrambling every single day. Like I have a clear idea of what needs to be done every day. I have a schedule. Time blocking is always something that I've wanted to do. Like that would just feel so magical to be able to wake up and know exactly what you're doing that day. Literally down to, here's 30 minutes where I'm going to answer DMs. Literally. Because otherwise I don't do stuff like that, which is so important. And I want to. I always dream of taking a vacation where I literally just sit on my phone and answer people's messages. Because I never get a chance to do it. But if it's in my schedule, time blocked, then I have to, It's like you don't have a boss when you do what I do. So nobody is demanding anything of you. You're just left to your own devices, and I'm scrambling and not organized. So anyways, today's episode, what I did was I planned it out more meticulously than I usually would, which was very nice to actually sit and think for a little bit and be like, what do I want to talk about today? It felt really nice. So I was trying to think, what do I want to talk about today that has been going on with regard to motherhood and parenting and Milo. So I decided what I wanted to talk about was donations and being charitable around the holidays, because we take part in, there is a charity called Adopt a Family where we live. And so once we moved to Guelph last year, through my business, we adopt a family and provide a Christmas for them. And it's such an amazing process. You register, you get an email with your information about the family that was matched with you. So it says what their needs are, how old the kids are, what their kids' favorite colors are, or what toys they're into. And so it gives you an idea when you go shopping of what to get them. And I always go overboard, obviously, because once I start shopping for kids, it's a problem, right? It's so fun. And you do grocery gift cards and gift cards for the parents, and it's lovely. I always try and get Milo involved, and I try and explain why we're doing this and what donating means and what we're doing. And I always found myself struggling with how to explain it to him. He's 6 years old. And so I was like, that's what I'm going to talk about in the catch up today, because that is what I have been going through and trying to research on my own. So he came with me to pick out toys for the kids, and then he helped me get everything organized. When you drop off the items, it's very organized in that things have to be labeled properly and everything has to be in a separate bag for each separate kid, and you fill out paperwork. And so I had him be involved in that part too, even though honestly, it just made the process more stressful and take longer. But I wanted him to feel like he was involved and to be a part of the process. So we did that. It was amazing. He helped me bring everything into the building where you're like little elves and you bring it there and they're like, all right, we're going to bring this back to Santa's workshop and the elves are going to get it ready for the families. And it's really, really cute. So he helped me with that. And then also his school does something called the Shoebox Project, which is really neat. And basically there's kids outside at drop off in the mornings this week, and they take donations. They have these big red sacks and they stand outside, and this is what they recommend to give. It's something warm, something sweet, something for the body, like shampoo or soap or something, and then something for self-care. So a journal, a face mask, lip gloss, and you can do like $5 or $10 gift cards as well. And so they collect a bunch of stuff, and then on Friday, a bunch of parents get together and assemble shoe boxes with some of these items in each shoebox that they then distribute to people in need. And so it's been on my mind a lot, and I wanted to read up about if anybody had any tips about how to talk to your kids about donations and giving and being charitable and just like ways to get them thinking about it and to be involved. I came across this article. It is cupofjoe.com. That's cupofjo.com. It was an article called 8 Ways to Teach Kids About Giving. And so the first one, which I needed to read, was Giving Can Start Small. And this is interesting because I always wait until the holidays. We do these big grand things like adopt a family. But it is really starting from the basics and teaching them about kindness and giving. And it doesn't always have to be something materialistic. And I have talked to him before because some new kids joined his grade this year. And I asked him, are the new kids, are they playing with everybody at recess and at lunchtime? And I told him, you got to make sure if they're on their own, maybe invite them to play with you and so on and so forth. But it is really about starting small and just being kind and giving in everyday little situations. Also, we have been purging in the house, and a lot of that has been his stuff, like his old toys and whatnot. And at first he didn't want to get rid of anything, but now he understands giving can start small and at the same time, not just be around the holidays, try and make this a regular thing that is talked about throughout the year. Number 2, consider volunteering with local organizations. This is a good one because, again, it's something that you can do year round. Maybe there are organizations in your area where kids can get involved. I have to look into this. Like, I know of places where we can donate items, but I'm not sure how we can be involved, especially when it comes to kids being involved. So, maybe a quick Google search and asking some people in the community if they know of anywhere where we could volunteer local organizations to be involved in. It's also a nice way just to meet people, to get out of the house. And we have regular things that we attend, that we do. And you feel so busy and overwhelmed, but maybe scale back on some of those things and then get involved with a local organization where you're doing something every second week or once a month. My sinuses have been on some bullshit today. I'll tell you that right now. Since the moment I opened my eyes in bed, I have just been blowing my nose, and I'm not sick. These are just my sinuses, okay? This is going to be a great episode. Anyways, yeah. Having something in the calendar where you're a part of an organization that's not necessarily swimming lessons or something like that. I'm sure we can help out at like the library or do something. Number 2, be invisible hands. This was really interesting. And basically what she's saying is not everything has to be like some big grand gesture where you're being recognized or people are noticing what you're doing. It's more so like wherever you can help, just do that. And it might be something very simple. They give the example of breaking down boxes at a local organization or unpacking some food items, not necessarily something that is noticeable or, people are seeing you do something or you're interacting with the public in some way. It's like you're being invisible. Number 4 is, this is interesting, find causes you find especially meaningful. And this, I thought about it with regard to having children involved. It'd be really interesting to sit down with Milo and have a conversation and be like, What are some things that you think would be important to help out with? Or even giving him some examples of things that we could do and having him select something that he's interested in. And again, it could be something so simple like some children are in the hospital. Do you want to write them a letter or color them some pictures? We're always looking for activities to do on the weekend or in the evenings. And this is the perfect way to do something, but also something that is giving, that is spreading kindness and having him be involved in it and understanding why we're doing it. I'm learning with you guys as I go. Number 5, consider your kids' particular skills. What is something that they enjoy doing, that they are good at doing? And then trying to find causes or get involved with organizations that are in that area or in that field. Number 6, look for the helpers. When you're out and about with your kids, it's not only about you guys doing things, but also maybe highlighting to your kids when you see people that are helping, or if you're at like a local fair or something and there's an organization that has a booth set up, maybe just going and learning a little bit about it and like explaining to them what that organization does, just so that they're aware that these things exist and that these issues exist and that they are capable of helping, and also recognizing the people around them that are helping at the same time. Number 7, encourage children to donate even a small amount. This, like I said, he didn't want to donate any of his toys because I don't think he understood at that time. And I was like, oh gosh, like what's wrong with my child? He doesn't want to donate his toys. But obviously he's a child. He didn't get it. Now he's really getting it. And he understands the donation thing. And he's 6 again. Like last year, I don't think he got it at all. But I think he's starting, like I can see his wheels turning in his head. And I think it's becoming something that he understands. Even with his Halloween candy, he was like, take as much as you want. He was being so generous with his Halloween candy. I was shocked, but it was so nice. So yeah, encourage them to donate. In this article, she talks about allowance, putting maybe a little bit of their allowance aside to donate. Milo doesn't get an allowance, but donating his toys is definitely something that we're working on right now and that he's totally into. We are currently in the process of breaking apart, which is a lot harder than it sounds, breaking apart his Legos and putting them in a box to ship back to Lego, because they have a repurpose program where you can donate Legos back to Lego. They will send you a shipping label. If you just go to in Google, type in donate Legos, and it should be the first thing that comes up. If you put in your address or information, they'll send you a shipping label so you can send a box of Legos for free. So we're currently in the process of doing that right now, and he understands. We're creating this box to donate to kids that don't get to have Legos, or some programs or schools where they don't have Lego. Number 8 is treat everyone around you with love. That's so Harry Styles coded. Treat people with kindness. TPWK. So yeah, just talking about being kind. I always bring it back to if there's new kids at school, if someone looks like they're playing by themselves, like inviting them to play with whoever you're playing with. Yeah, it's just treating people with kindness, understanding that we don't always know what people are going through. And it's just having these conversations with our kids. I feel like it's so easy to let so many things go. And we're all so busy that you're just on this like hamster wheel of life and you're just like trying to make it through the goddamn day. But there's certain things that are important that I don't want to just skip past. Anywho, so yeah, that article is cupofjoe.com, and it's called 8 Ways to Teach Kids About Giving. All right, it is time for the pop culture segment. First and foremost, actually, it's literally the only thing I want to talk about today. Claudia Oshry is pregnant. Oh my God. When her reel popped up on my page, I was literally in shock. I had no idea. And so many times she was like, I was posting things and I thought people would catch on. Did anybody catch on? I did not catch on at all. I cannot believe Claudia is pregnant. I cannot wait to hear about her journey. I need her to come on the podcast. Like, how this is the mom podcast. She has to come on. So how do I make this happen? She is so blunt and honest and not a people pleaser. Like, she doesn't care if she says things that are going to ruffle some feathers. Jackie is like that too. And I've loved hearing her sister's, journey. They don't talk about parenting a ton on the podcast, but whenever she does talk about it, I'm like, so refreshing. Like somebody just saying what they're doing. I don't care if you don't agree. This is what I'm doing. It's fine. So I can't wait to hear what Claudia has to say about pregnancy and the birth story and those early postpartum days. I just can't wait. She's already hilarious if you hear her talk about pregnancy. Like, she is in her first trimester, obviously having a rough time. And I just love it. I love how honest and blunt she has been. So there's no sugarcoating with Claudia, and that's what I love. So I can't wait to hear all about it. Parenting news. I came across an article on Scary Mommy, and the title of it was, I make things as easy as possible for my husband when I'm out of town. It's basically her defending why she does that and saying that her and her husband are a team. Of course, I'm going to be helping and making his life easier when I'm about to leave and be out of town for however long. This is what she says. She says, me prepping to make things as easy as possible to my family when I'm gone isn't because he can't do it. It's because we are a team and we always have each other's backs. I have no issue with anything that she talks about in this article, but the one thing that's missing, which wasn't super clear, is does he do the same thing for you when he is going to leave town? Yes, you're a team, but does it go both ways? So the examples that she gave for her husband doing things to make her life easier were when he goes on a hunting trip for the weekend, he plugs the kids' tablets into their chargers and tells me where their water bottles are for soccer. Okay. When he's having a guy's night out, he throws nuggets in the oven for me before he walks out the door. Okay. I don't know if I would equate that with what she says that she's doing before she leaves town. You know what I'm saying? So she says, I make the outfits for all of my girls and I put them in baskets. I point out to my husband where their soccer socks and shin guards are and how he'll have to wash their jerseys after practice on Wednesday. I go ahead and prep a birthday present for the party he's taking them to on Saturday, and I fill the fridge and freezer with all the snacks they need for school and frozen pizzas for easy dinners. I can't really equate the two, and I'm sure he's great. And I'm just going off of what exactly is said in the article. But the thing is, I think she thought people would have an issue with her making things easier for her husband when she goes out of town. But the point is, does he do the same for you when he goes out of town? It doesn't sound like he does. Like throwing nuggets in the oven before leaving, like getting outfits ready, prepping dinners and having snacks ready and la 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 la. It's just difficult when one parent is the primary parent. And so they know all the ins and outs of everyone's schedule, what people are eating, because kids change their mind every 2 seconds. It's hard when that is the person that goes away. But my argument is that if the other parent was equally involved in sleep routines, taking a bath, extracurricular activities, laundry, if they were equally involved in these things, picking out outfits, so on and so forth, then it shouldn't be an issue for either parent to leave for 24 or 48 hours. It shouldn't be like a big to-do. It should just be seamless. Of course, if my husband was going to take Milo to a birthday party and I was going to be out of town, yeah, that week when I had free time, I would probably go get a gift and wrap it and stuff. There are situations where that's going to happen. And she explains in this article, there are things that I tend to do more often, and there are things that he tends to do more often too. And that's our situation as well. I'm usually one to wash the bedding or clean the bathrooms, and my husband's usually the one to do the dishes, honestly, make dinner. If either of us are gonna cook, especially in the summer because he'll barbecue a lot, he's usually the one that's cooking. And so we do tend to do different things, but we could easily take over each other's jobs if one person was going to go out of town. I don't know if that makes sense, but I just wanted to point out that it's fine. It's fine to be a team and to help each other out in that way. It's just, it has to go both ways. And sometimes I think it doesn't go both ways. And then moms tend to do it for dads. And then like they have to defend why they're doing it for their partners. You don't have to defend that. It's just, I hope that it goes both ways and that he does that for you as well. That was my thought on that article. Oh my gosh. Okay. I came across an article again on Scary Mommy, and the title of the article, I relate to this woman so much, and I have some things to say. So the title of the article was, I'd give anything to watch my own TV shows. Okay. Hashtag relatable. Oh my gosh. When Milo was younger and he was going to bed early, it wasn't that big of a deal because when he would go to bed, we would watch our shows. Now, he's older, his bedtime is later. Let's say by the time he's down and I go back downstairs or my husband comes back downstairs, it's 8:30, sometimes almost 9 o'clock. I want to go to bed in like a half hour. Also, she points out in this article, that time after your child goes to bed is usually the only time that you get to actually sit and hang out with your partner, in this case, my husband. And he doesn't want to watch The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, which is tragic for me. So it's like you're busy all day. You can't watch your shows. You can't watch your shows in the early evening, and then you can't watch your shows in the later evening because you only have a certain amount of time. And so you want to watch a show that your husband is also into. So what I've been doing is just staying up a little bit later and watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm trying to catch up in that franchise. I've been watching it before I go to bed or before I start reading before I go to bed. And so I'm staying up a little bit later, but it's so true. This issue is so true. And sometimes on Saturday mornings, now that Milo's older, sometimes he will watch his shows on Saturday morning upstairs by himself. And my husband and I are having coffee, watching the news or whatever it is on Saturday morning downstairs. But do you think I can sit there and enjoy my coffee? No, because I feel so guilty and so bad that Milo's upstairs watching cartoons by himself, but he's probably living his best life, you know? But here I am thinking like, oh my God, my poor child is watching TV by himself. He's probably like, thank God it's quiet up here. I can actually listen to what's going on. Nobody's bugging me. It's crazy, but nobody talks about this. I miss watching TV. Last year, this is crazy, my New Year's resolution was to watch more TV because I love it so much. If it's a documentary, if it's reality TV that I'm super into, I am obsessed. It's actually when I get to turn off my brain and relax and just be invested in somebody else's life and watch something that is just genuinely entertaining. I'm not trying to learn anything. I'm literally just so entertained. So I loved that article so much. And then, of course, she ends it with, and I think about this all the time. She says, I know that it won't be long before my kids enter the stage where they rarely want to be around me. And I'll have the opportunity to watch all of the shows I want. And I'll find myself missing the stage I'm currently in. I get it, and I try to remind myself of this when I'm straining my eyes to watch the little tiny screen on my phone. Even still, I have to admit I'm looking forward to it just a little bit. And I think about this all the time, even when it comes to reading. I picture myself as an older woman sitting in a big comfy armchair, just binge reading books. That's what I think about. I'm like, wow. But then, and I always think like there's going to be a phone next to me and I'm going to be waiting for Milo to text me from college or something, you know, but I am going to be able to read all the books that I want to read and watch all the shows that I want to watch soon. And then it's not going to be special anymore because I just have all this time to do it. It's like you can't win. So anyways, I thought that article was so interesting. And I was like, what a niche problem that parents have, parents of younger children. Okay, lastly, some content. I just want to say I'm on season 4 of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They're in season 5 now. Loving it so much. I can't wait to be all caught up. I am almost done The Hunting Wives, which is an incredible book, and I'm so excited that it's being turned into a TV series next year because it just has all the things that you would want to make it a good TV show. I'm not going to get into what exactly it's about. Just go Google it, The Hunting Wives, and read the description of the book. It's so good. Almost done that, and then I need to decide what I'm going to read next. And I can't believe, I'm so disappointed in myself that I haven't seen Shrinking Season 2. I am obsessed with this show. I binge watched the first season. It's on Apple Plus in Canada. I also signed up to be able to stream the Shawn Mendes concert movie that was out in theaters last week. I didn't get to go to it because I had tickets, but then I got invited to the Eras tour. Sorry, Shawn. But I did buy the pass to be able to stream it, but it runs out on Sunday, so I need to watch that concert movie. And been listening to Mariana's Trench because it's honestly just straight bops. Milo is obsessed with their music. It's so fun to listen to in the car. Oh my gosh. So anyways, that is that on that. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you don't already, please subscribe to us on YouTube. We are The Mom Room on YouTube, and we are really getting our SHIT together. SHIT? Yeah. Trying to streamline things, have more engaging YouTube content. So stay tuned. I'll keep you posted on how this life-changing workflow is being implemented. Anyways, thanks for listening. Bye.